Why Menglong's death terrifies Xi Jinping. The stream that broke silence. It was not just the world that trembled. In the quiet halls of power, a ripple of unease had begun. The dark web livestream of Menglong's final moments, once dismissed by ordinary citizens as morbid curiosity, had infiltrated places no fan could reach. Screens in Beijing flickered with encrypted news alerts, detailing the actor's death and the viral chaos it had unleashed. "We didn't expect it to spread so fast," whispered an insider close to the Central Communications Office. But the footage, the speed, it's unprecedented. Even state monitors struggled to contain the narrative. The live stream had been viewed by millions worldwide, each replay more chilling than the last. Menglong's two loyal dogs, shadows of panic, circled him helplessly, a haunting image that resonated far beyond borders. The world had seen death in real time, and now, the ripple had reached the highest office. A whisper from the West Wing. According to sources inside the government, Xi Jinping was briefed late at night as reports of global unrest poured in. Fans had flooded social media platforms, and international media outlets were dissecting the dark web footage in real time. Analysts warned that the psychological impact was spreading faster than any traditional news. "They showed him the clip," said one former official with knowledge of the briefing. "The emotion, the helplessness, the viral spread, it's not just tragedy, it's chaos packaged as spectacle. And it's reaching every corner of the globe instantly." Xi Jinping reportedly watched the footage on a secure monitor, silent for hours. Advisors noted his unusual stillness. The live stream's grainy footage, Menglong's trembling voice, and the anxious movements of the dogs created an image so haunting that even seasoned politicians could not look away. The global panic. What terrified the leadership was not merely the death of a beloved actor, but the uncontrollable virality of the event. Digital platforms had no central control, memes spread faster than moderation, and millions of fans were creating decentralized communities around grief and outrage. It was the first time we saw such coordinated digital mourning, an internet analyst explained. The entire world, connected in sorrow, united by one tragic stream. Even beyond China, governments were scrambling. Diplomatic messages circulated quietly. How could a single live stream, with no political context, cause global disruption? How could an actor's death reach into every home, every office, every digital device, creating waves of fear, grief, and unpredictability? The unreleased song that amplified fear. Then came the unreleased song. Weeks after Menglong's death, a track labeled YML, Echo, appeared online. The voice, unmistakable, carried raw grief, subtle political undertones, and cryptic lyrics. "If my voice fades from your screen tonight, remember, I was never pixels, I was light." It was as if Menglong's presence refused to be silenced. The song's virality magnified the emotional panic already simmering among fans and citizens alike. In secure communications, advisors noted that the collective mourning and its global visibility posed unique challenges to public order. "The problem," said a government analyst, "is that it's emotional contagion. People are mourning openly online. No one can predict where it will spread next or how it might be weaponized politically or socially." Yang Mi's private plea. Yang Mi, whose attempts to save Menglong had already become legendary, became central in this unfolding narrative. She had posted tributes and private videos of the unreleased song, reinforcing its authenticity and amplifying its emotional weight. Her messages weren't just grief, noted a digital media consultant. They were triggers. Millions of fans watched her pain, internalized it, and reacted in kind. It was unprecedented in modern media history. Government monitors noted that her presence online created a feedback loop of mourning, memory, and viral content, effectively turning private tragedy into a global spectacle. The fear of contagion. Xi Jinping's team was particularly concerned about this psychological contagion. Unlike conventional political unrest, this phenomenon could not be controlled through censorship or public statements. Every attempt to downplay the event risked fueling the global narrative further. "This isn't just celebrity death," an insider explained. It's digital shock therapy for millions of people simultaneously. It's visible, emotional, uncontainable, and potentially destabilizing if left unchecked. Internal reports compared the situation to an emotional virus, spreading faster than misinformation, creating collective anxiety among citizens who revered Menglong and felt powerless over his death. The dogs as symbols. Even the two dogs had become symbols of helpless loyalty and tragedy. Photos and videos of them circling Menglong during the dark web stream went viral repeatedly. Social media used them as avatars for grief, tributes, and solidarity. International attention. The live stream had already drawn global attention, and Menglong's posthumous song only intensified it. Foreign media outlets dissected every frame, every lyric, every image of grief. The narrative of a beloved actor dying in real time, combined with global mourning, became a topic on major networks worldwide. "We've never seen something like this," admitted a Western political analyst. An entertainer's death, paired with viral media, influencing emotions across multiple nations, it's an unprecedented soft power challenge. Xi Jinping, according to insiders, was particularly wary of the unpredictability. How could a single cultural event, unrelated to politics, have such psychological and social influence? How could it bypass conventional media channels and spread unregulated, virtually unchecked? Xi Jinping, reportedly, remained silent for hours, processing the scale of the event. The fear was not of the death itself, but of its unstoppable ripple, a cultural, digital, and emotional shockwave that no authority could immediately control. The symbolism that terrifies. Menglong's death had transcended celebrity. It became a global psychological phenomenon. In the eyes of leadership, the live stream and subsequent viral events demonstrated the fragility of digital control, the power of emotion as soft influence, the potential for grief to mobilize millions instantly, the risk of uncontainable narratives spreading across borders. "It's not just mourning," an insider said. "It's the reminder that control is an illusion in the digital age, and that terrifies them." The song, the dogs, the live stream, Yangmi's tributes, they were all nodes in a network of unstoppable emotion. Even without political intent, the global phenomenon challenged the perception of influence, stability, and authority. Global cultural shockwave. Across Asia and beyond, the song and live stream became catalysts for public reflection, art, and collective mourning. Fans held synchronized vigils, posted tributes, and streamed videos in unison. In digital forums, millions shared stories of grief, hope, and connection, creating a virtual memorial spanning continents. "It's the first time culture alone created a real-time emotional earthquake," said one cultural theorist. "Not war, not politics, but music, loyalty, and grief." The first ripples. Inside the night that shook power. The midnight briefing. It was 11:47 p.m. Beijing time when the first alert hit the secure monitors in Zhongnanhai. A small note appeared on encrypted channels. Menglong live stream. Urgent global impact. Advisors scrolled through snippets of fan reactions, screenshots of the grainy video, and fragmented clips of Menglong's trembling silhouette. Inside the room, Xi Jinping sat in near darkness, the only light coming from the faint glow of a monitor. No words were exchanged for minutes. The footage played in a loop, showing the two dogs circling Menglong as he moved nervously across the dimly lit room. Every shadow, every flicker on the screen was amplified by the silence. He watched in absolute stillness, an insider said later. For the first time, he seemed unsettled. The room was thick with tension. Outside the monitors, chaos was quietly erupting. Social media feeds flooded with shock, grief, and speculation. Unlike any normal celebrity death, this one had been broadcast live, and the world had watched, helpless and mesmerized. The heartbeat of panic. The advisors whispered urgently among themselves. Analysts explained that viral algorithms were accelerating the spread beyond control. Screenshots of Menglong's final moments, paired with frantic captions, were appearing not just on fan pages, but on semi-official forums and international news channels. "It's not just grief," one analyst said. It's emotional contagion. Millions are absorbing this tragedy simultaneously, and it's crossing borders, bypassing our usual controls. The dogs, who had been central to fan discourse, were more than pets. They were symbols of loyalty, helplessness, and tragedy. Images of them had already been reposted thousands of times, stirring waves of empathy and panic that even the state's most sophisticated monitoring tools struggled to measure. A leader unnerved. In the secure briefing room, Xi Jinping's advisors debated containment strategies. Could the narrative be redirected? Could the footage be suppressed without fueling further attention? Every option seemed futile. The problem isn't censorship, one senior official admitted. It's psychological resonance. The footage, the movement, even the sound, it's affecting people at a visceral level. It's raw, uncontrolled emotion, and no decree can erase it. The live stream's grainy quality amplified its impact. Shadows seemed to move unnaturally. Menglong's eyes reflected fear that was unmistakable. For those watching globally, it was a horror movie unfolding in real time. For the leadership, it was an uncomfortable mirror. Human grief, ungovernable, viral, and visible to the world. Global observers react. Even foreign diplomats noted the unusual scale of attention. Analysts monitoring Twitter, Instagram, and emerging fan forums were shocked. Millions of fans across continents were not just mourning, they were mobilizing. Vigils were organized spontaneously, hashtags proliferated, and tribute videos were uploaded by the thousands. We've seen protests, one insider noted. We've seen political movements. But this is culture itself, driving attention and emotional action at an unprecedented scale. The realization sank in. Menglong's death was no ordinary celebrity loss. It was an event that demonstrated the power of global digital culture, an emotional contagion that no policy could contain. The song that amplified fear. Reports also noted the initial appearance of the unreleased track, though at this point, only a small circle of insiders had heard it. The song, titled YML Echo, carried faint lyrics and an intimate acoustic melody. Its significance, advisors warned, could not be understated. The combination of visual grief from the live stream and the auditory grief of the song created a compounding emotional wave. Even if only a few hear it at first, an analyst warned, the ripple effect will be unstoppable once it spreads. It's empathy amplified by technology, and it's impossible to predict its path. Inside Zongnanhai, staff debated whether the song's existence should be acknowledged. Acknowledgement could inflame emotion. Silence could allow rumors to escalate. Every choice felt like walking a tightrope across an invisible storm of grief. The dogs and the symbol of helplessness. Meanwhile, attention on the two dogs intensified. Their anxious pacing during the live stream had become emblematic of the entire tragedy. Loyalty, helplessness, and the fragility of life condensed into small, vulnerable bodies. Memes, GIFs, and fan tributes to the dogs proliferated online. Even the simplest posts, "They stayed with him until the end," were shared millions of times. They weren't just pets, one official admitted. They became symbols, and symbols can influence people faster than words. This symbolic amplification created an additional layer of concern. Even non-fans were drawn into the narrative. Casual viewers, government employees, and even foreign citizens were now emotionally tethered to the live stream, creating an international psychological phenomenon. The first night of fear. By 2 a.m., the global digital landscape was alight. News reports in New York, London, and Seoul had picked up the story. Fan vigils were being live-streamed themselves, creating a recursive echo of grief. Analysts warned that the emotional chain reaction could influence social behavior, economic confidence, and even digital security in unpredictable ways. This isn't just celebrity news, an advisor muttered. It's cultural power expressed in pure emotion. And it's unstoppable. Xi Jinping remained unusually silent. Sources described him staring at the monitors, absorbing each frame of the live stream again and again. The rawness, the immediacy, and the emotional contagion were unlike anything previously encountered. Whispers of a global emotional earthquake. Within the leadership circles, discussions began about long-term consequences. Could this phenomenon inspire unrest? Could it embolden cultural dissent? Could viral grief itself become a form of influence? The questions hung heavy in the air. Outside the official compound, fan communities were already planning their next movements. Tributes, remixes, and viral videos were in production. The live stream was no longer a single event. It had become a global cultural moment, unfolding in real time, impossible to contain. Even without politics, one insider said, "This is influence. This is power. And it terrifies them because it cannot be commanded or controlled." Closing the first night. By dawn, the city slept uneasily. Advisors continued their monitoring, reporting metrics that spanned continents, reposts, emotional analyses, hashtag trajectories. Every minute brought new reactions, and every reaction compounded the sense of vulnerability. In the quiet of the secure briefing room, Xi Jinping reportedly reflected on the event alone. Menglong's